So welcome to the next day. Today we are going to pick up where we left off yesterday because of the rain. So we're going to go to Badlands Harley-Davidson first because it's the one closest to us. And then we're going to head into Sturgis. We might go by Pappy Hoel's Full Throttle first. The problem that we have with the Full Throttle and the Buffalo Chip, because I know a lot of you people may be looking for that, you probably won't see it because I'm not a big partier, drinker, and spending $100 to get in to a place. I understand they have concerts and stuff, but I'm not going to do the concerts. I just want to go there to shoot footage for you guys, and I'm not willing to pay that amount of money to do it. So probably won't be doing that. Do I drink? Yes. Do I drink excessively?
Define excessively.
Do I drink obsessively? No. So I'm not one of those people that you'll find, running around looking for all the wild and crazy guys. I like to ride. So that's what I do, is I ride, which is what you'll see. But nevertheless, I have to go by there in order to check in to play the Sturgis push game. So that I am doing because that's riding. So that's what we're going to do today, is hopefully finish the push challenge and do the Badlands and then do Sturgis going by Full Throttle. So you'll get to see it at least. And if we learned anything from yesterday, that's all we're planning. So that's what we know we're going to get accomplished today. So let's get to it on today's Graybeard Biker. So before we get started, I wanted to make a few announcements, a few updates. First, I will be going to Smoky Mountain Bike Week on Wednesday of the week. I'm only going to be there on Wednesday. So if you're going to be up at Smoky Mountain Bike Week in Tennessee on Wednesday, be sure to say hi. I'd love to meet you. And after that, the weekend following, I'm going to be at Myrtle Beach. So I'll be at Myrtle Beach the last weekend of the rally. Now, if you remember last year, I was there the first weekend of the rally. Don't recommend that. So now I'm going the second weekend, and we get to have all those great barbecue places again. That'd be awesome. And thirdly, the last thing of note, this may be the last time that you see me in this garage studio environment. If you've been a subscriber for a while, if you've been watching, you know that I actually have a studio inside the house, more inside than the garage here. And my daughter moved in, kind of took over that area for a while. And good news, she just found her own place again. So she's going to be moving out probably before I talk to you again on the next episode. So, good news all the way around. And next time you see me, maybe I'll be back inside with all the lights and trophies and all that stuff again. So, there it is.
Well, that it is.
Let's now jump back into our story. We are preparing to head out for day 6 of our Sturgis Motorcycle Rally experience. The sun is shining. It looks like a good day to ride. So we stopped by Wendy's here for a quick bite before heading back to where we left off the day before. If you remember in the previous episode, we rolled into Black Hills Harley-Davidson at the end of the day and they were shutting down. And so we decided to make sure we got here early enough today, the next day, to see everything that they had to offer. Let's check it out. they've got one of the biggest vendor setups during the entire rally. This place here, where we first turned to go down to the dealership and then the main building and parking lot down the hill. It's actually down the hill and then back up a hill again. And of course, you saw that there is a shuttle in between them. Here in this back parking lot, just a sea of bikes. Black Hills Harley-Davidson was huge. We did find out that the foot traffic wasn't necessarily a lot though, after we took the shuttle over to it. There were plenty of vendors, not so many riders. We did stop to look at some RVs that cost as much as a house, but still.
In case you thought I was joking about the cost. Well, you may make one, not this one that you can put your bike in the back of.
again, as we were leaving, just look at all these bikes. Maybe a lot of these bikes were for sale. Remnants of the woke CEO backlash. I don't know, but it was awesome to see just the same. We leave here and make our way to Sturgis downtown. First off the exit to Sturgis, at one of those car wash stalls, some girls had set up to do their own bikini bike wash. Didn't seem to be sponsored by anybody, just entrepreneurial. Right across the street was the famous Sturgis sign with a line that wrapped around the building. So we'll come back to that a little later on. Some friendly, not camera shy folks here waving to us. Hello.
Hi! Hi! Good morning!
Next up, we're heading over to J&P Cycles. If you know, in Daytona, they have a standalone building there. They also have one here in Sturgis. And they were running a promotion with Rever, the app. Track your trip into Sturgis, show the mileage once you get to J&P Cycle on the app, and you get this exclusive t-shirt. Sounds pretty cool, right? Well, not so much. Now, when I got there, I looked for signage as to where to go. Nothing. And when I asked, staff pointed me to the Rever tent, which was back outside. The only problem, the tent was gone. So I went back up to a J&P employee because, after all, they are partners in this promotion, and they said that Rever had packed up and left. No help at all. And to say that I was annoyed would be putting it lightly. Here, I give a rant, but the camera, for some reason, didn't capture it. Probably a good thing, but I'll still tell you what happened. Now, I did message them, but no reply. So much for customer service and respect. If they replied and I was satisfied, of course I would have told you, but they didn't, and so I'm telling you. From there, we made our way over to the legendary Pappy Hoel Campground, right next to Full Throttle Saloon. Now, as I said in the intro here, we didn't go into the campground. You could pay money to go see all their concerts, to put up your tent there, all of that. It cost way too much for me. I did not go down that road and do that. I didn't go into the Full Throttle Saloon either, but we did go around the parking lot and let you see that. Before, we headed up to Pappy Hoel's so that we could check in for the Sturgis Push Challenge at the Harley tent up there. Got there, checked in at the Harley tent, and they gave me my prize for completing the challenge, which was great. They also told me that if I was to go to the Harley tent in downtown Sturgis, they would give me another prize, a second prize, which was to be a pin. So, after leaving here, we decided we're gonna head back to the Harley tent in downtown Sturgis to get our second prize. All right, little break in here for YouTube responsibilities. YouTube says that the vast majority of folks that watch the Graybeard Biker channel aren't subscribed. So if you don't mind, please check. See if you are subscribed. If you're not, please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. And YouTube has been known to unsubscribe people on their own without your permission. So if you would, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. It helps us out. We really appreciate it. Also, those of you that have done Patreon or that little YouTube super thanks thing, we see you. We appreciate it. So on the way to Sturgis again to go to the Harley tent, we stopped by the Buffalo Chip to walk around the outside vendor village. Plenty of tents, plenty of shopping, and of course the party vibe the Chip is known for, even though we're on the outskirts of the campground. Again, we didn't go into the campground and spend $150 or however much it may happen to be to watch the concerts, camp there, any of that stuff. and another Bikini Bike Wash right here at the Buffalo Chick. Here, another guy parking too close to my bike. Do people just not pay attention? Is that where we're at now? Now, what do you think is going to happen when I try to stand my bike up? This is what's wrong with motorcycles parking next to each other. What do you think is going to happen when I lean my bike up to leave? Thank you, Beaver. Second time this has happened this trip. Now, I spoke to this guy. Nice guy, respectful, just didn't pay attention. Then finally, we made our way back into town. Gotta go get that second prize for the push challenge from Harley-Davidson. Now, they were set up this whole big area. It was the Sturgis Community Center, but it was gated off. And we were stopped at the gate and told that they were closed. Turned me away. Just like that. Again, pissed. And again, the video powers that be protected you from seeing the rant that I did. Now, after that, we needed to reset. So we grabbed some barbecue in downtown Sturgis. Now, we filmed a separate review on that spot that was already been released, and it's going to be linked right here. Now, if you've been to Daytona or seen the episodes that I've done on Daytona, Sturgis is very similar. There's not just tents, there's actual storefronts where people in Sturgis, this is part of how they make their yearly income. So it was nice. And before we left, we saw something that turned every head on the block. A heavy police presence had stopped traffic, both pedestrian and motorcycles, and we were like, what the hell are they doing? And then we saw it. They were letting the Hells Angels ride through the middle of town in tight formation, uninterrupted. Now, I don't know why they shut down everything for that, but it is impressive to see them ride. After the barbecue, we tried to walk through downtown Sturgis. But honestly, as far as a rally taking over a town, this was massive. And by the time we got halfway through, the day was catching up to us. So we decided to call it and come back another day to dive in fresh. Then we decided to head back to the cabin, stopping again by that Sturgis sign, which now didn't have a line. Alright guys, I am sitting here editing this very episode, and I realize I've already made the thumbnail, and in the thumbnail, it very clearly tells you there's going to be a giveaway. And there is going to be a giveaway. The problem is, in the story as it plays out, I haven't told you what that is yet. So, know this. If you watch the next episode, it will tell you what the giveaway is. I don't want to interrupt the story, but you can actually participate in this one. So, watch that one, and then you'll be able to do the steps to participate in the giveaway on this episode, as well as all the other ones from this same series. So, sorry I kind of preempted, told you, hey, there's a giveaway, and then didn't tell you what it was. But I can't tell you what it is until the next episode, where we'll spoil the surprise, or the rant, or whatever. Thanks. And that's going to wrap up day 6, part 5 of our Sturgis Bike Week series. Don't miss the next episode. What are we going to be doing next? We're going to go back to Sturgis and to Harley, that's for sure. But we also take the 1880 train out of Hill City. We cruise to Crazy Horse as well. All before going back, giving Harley another shot, and seeing the rest of Sturgis. So, to be notified when it's released, hit the little bell down there. That means notifications. That will tell you every time that we release something, so that you'll be sure that you're one of the first people to see it. Usually when we release these, we do them on what YouTube calls a premiere, which means you can chat with us while it's being played for the very first time. So, hopefully, we'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay free. Keep it shiny side up.